Hi, Kelly Richey here. Okay, we're going to look at my guitar world. Let me start by showing you my main pedal board. This goes with me whether I'm playing with my band or whether I'm playing solo. Whether I'm in the studio, it doesn't matter. This is my main pedal board. I have a Love line drive, which is a buffer that gives me a good solid signal to run through all of these effects to my amp. So hopefully when my guitar reaches my amps, it's as close to the same line level as if I were to plug straight in. So that's my line drive, and it's mounted underneath this pedal board. Also mounted underneath here is my power supply, so all the little jumper cables come up to power everything. And I've got a wireless, a Sennheiser wireless, underneath my volume pedal. So guitar goes in to the Love line drive, out of the Love line drive, in to my wah pedal. This is a Fulltone. Out of my Fulltone into my tube screamers. Now, I've always just used the regular vintage tube screamers. I've got at least 8 of them laying around the house in every pedal board that I have. I just got the 2 new tube screamer minis, and they're great. I really like them. Very, very, very close to the sounds that the ones that I took off my pedal board have. They might be just a touch brighter, have just a touch more bite, but very, very, very close. I'm happy with them, and very little real estate on the pedal board. Now, I run 2 tube screamers at the same time. The first one, I have the overdrive set straight up to noon, and the second one, I have the overdrive set to 3 o'clock. Both of them have the unity level straight up at noon and the tone at 10 o'clock. Okay, so line drive to my wah, which is my Fulltone, into my 2 tube screamers. And these 2 tube screamers actually run through a Boss noise suppressor. This pedal is just a regular size pedal, and it's an NS2, and it has an effects loop in it. So I can have the noise gate on just these 2 effects. I don't have to put it on the whole pedal board, which in my opinion would really suck some tone out of things. So I saw this on YouTube. A guy, actually I think his screen name or channel is called Tube Screamer. He has great stuff. You should check him out. But that's where I saw this little trick. I didn't even know this existed. So this is great. So this has my 2 tube screamers. So from here, my gain stage, I go from here into my volume. From my volume into my Eventide. Now note, I always put my volume after my tube screamers. That way I can control how much volume from my guitar goes in to my gain structure. That's going to impact how much dirt or distortion that I have that comes out. Back down the volume on my guitar, it cleans up my sound. Open my guitar wide open, and it the most amount of overdrive comes out. Then this acts as a master volume. I can turn my overall sound with the thickness that I like up and down if I need to. Usually I leave this all the way down, but sometimes if I need to start off just a little bit quieter and build, I can get my main sound and just back the master volume down. So that's my volume pedal. Then it goes into an Eventide, the H9. This is a great unit. This, you can get one that's just blank or one that comes with the main presets from their 4 flagship models. Eventide has a pitch factor, which is all of the different, pitch shifting sounds. It has a time factor, which is all the delays. It has a mod factor, flange choruses and all that. And it has a unit that's the space, which is like reverbs and stuff. So it takes the main, most popular settings, presets, from each of those 4 really nice units and packs them into one unit. Now, it has Bluetooth. I have an app on my phone. I can purchase the entire catalog from all 4 of those pedals and load it into here. And that's transferable if you have more than one of these. And I do plan on getting a second one and just putting every sound that's in here on that as well. So I use this for my everything besides delays, because as you'll see, I have plenty of delay here. I'll use like a tremolo. I use a harmonizer where I have a fifth below. I use an octave, especially when I'm doing the solo stuff and I want to have a bass, you know, track. I can put an octave below and sound, you know, like a guitar player playing bass, which I would sound like anyway if I was on a bass. And it has some really weird sounds. This does everything. I have a couple of reverb settings. I think the black hole from the Space Unit, if I want to create that big, huge wash. So this is a great unit. From here, I'm mono up to this point. I go stereo from here into my TC Electronics. Now this is their brand new triple flashback delay. Not only does it have 3 delays in it, but they're individual delays. I can use all 3 at the same time, or just 2 of them, or just 1 of them. So this is amazing. And it's got a switch where you can run these delays in series, so they run through each other, or in parallel. So it's like having 3 separate stomp boxes that you could bring into a mixer and them not be playing off of each other. So I love this. It's got a tap that affects all of them. It's also got a switch. I had to take the plate off in the back to switch it, so when I turn the delay off, it keeps going. It has I believe that's called an overspill. So I love that. Some of the delays I've had before in the past, they don't give you that option, and so when you turn off the delay, it just stops abruptly. So this just keeps going. From here, I go stereo out into my DD20, which is a digital delay by Boss, and it has 4 presets that you can save. You can only use 1 at a time. So the first one is set exactly like my number 3. It's a ping pong. And the reason I have this set to that is if I have this in parallel, if I turn this on, it allows me to have my ping pong options to where I can have it in series or in parallel if I want that. Or in case I just want absolute insanity, I turn on all of the delays, get in front of my amp at the end of the night, you know, and do the big, do everything but burn things down. So this first setting is for ping pong, and the last setting is for a reverse guitar. So it takes my whatever signal I'm sending it, and it turns it in reverse, which is a really cool effect. You can't use it except for just what it is. It's not something that works friendly, you know, with the song. It's for like a part when you're looking for that backwards guitar sound, and you have to kind of play to it. You have to feed it guitar lines that would sound good reversed. And so that's a lot of fun, but I seldom use it, but you know, a couple times a night I might turn it on, especially if it's a longer show and if I'm stretching out. So this goes then to my amps. I'm sorry, if I'm playing with my band, it goes to my amps. Now, if I'm playing solo, it goes to my Boss loop station. If I'm playing solo, I come out of my main guitar rig and go into my Boss RC300 loop station. This is a looper that has 3 individual loop pedals. And you can set this up to where they all play together. So like maybe I'll put a rhythm guitar track, and then I can add a lead line or a second rhythm, the layer over top of it, and I can add a third one. And you can keep adding to the individual ones forever. Like I can lay down a guitar and I can lay another guitar track over this, over this, over this. You know, you can layer within each looper, but you can also set it up to where these layer on top of each other. Or it's got what's called a one-shot mode, to where if I put a guitar track down here, when I turn the next one on, it makes this turn off. So maybe I want a verse, chorus, or I have something that I'm using one part of a song and the song has more than one part. So I'll play over top of this, and then when I kick this on and that goes off, then I have a new part. So like verse, chorus, bridge, you know. So that's really nice, and that's the mode that I tend to use it in, unless I'm doing ambient stuff where I just want a tapestry to where I'm painting a picture. Okay, now you have individual volumes for each of these tracks, and the master of these I have programmed to be able to turn any loop that I've recorded guitar-wise into this, to be able to control the master volume out, because this is going into my amp. I have to play over top of it, and I don't want my lead that I'm playing over top to compete with the rhythm that I'm playing to, so I can nuance this. Has a stereo out to my 2 amps, and it's got 2 expression pedals. This is set up to where with my foot I can scroll between the individual songs up and down. So I'm just using 1 expression pedal now, but it has, actually I'm using 2 because this is split up and down. And it's got 1 other one. You can use an expression pedal or momentary switches. Then there's a sub out, which I love about this. This has MIDI, which I have to have. So when I was shopping for loopers, honestly, I tried everything on the market at length. This definitely meets all my needs because it has 3 different loopers, the ability to control the effects, or the volumes, whatever. It has a foot switch built in, plus expression pedal so I can add more controls with my feet. But it also has MIDI, okay, and it has a sub out. So the sub out is where my drum rhythm source comes from. So let's get into that. Playing live over any guitar tracks that either, you know, I might record a couple of tracks here into the looper so I don't have to do it while I'm on stage, or if I want to stretch out and add on to the song, I can create more rhythms as I go live. So either way, I can use this in a totally organic sense to create from a clean palette or to trigger what I have laid down. But I want some kind of a rhythm source, and these have built-in beats, but they sound like a pretty generic drum machine. I mean, they're not bad, but for a professional performance, I wanted something that was fantastic. So because I have MIDI, when I turn this on, it's going to trigger my beats to play. Okay, now this is triggering my Maschine Studio. This Maschine Studio, it's a drum machine, but it's a controller, which means it has to plug into a computer because all of its sounds are in my computer. I've got 16 different beats programmed here. Now these are all going to trigger whatever tempo this particular song is. And this song is at 101 beats per minute. So if I went to a different song, like, let's see, here we go. This is at 81 beats per minute. So quite a bit slower. So these beats were programmed by my new drummer, Toby Donahue. Toby is an amazing drum programmer. He scratches. He was an Animal Cracker. He's been Bootsy Collins' production main guy for like 15 years. And he is my new drummer in the Kelly Richey Band. So I'm going to be touring with him this year and doing festivals. And so he's producing tracks for my next record, along with Dwayne Lundy down in Lexington. And we're experimenting. Now, let me talk a little bit about this before I get into my amps. This is my mixer. This is brand new. It's the TouchMix 16-channel version by QSC. And it's almost like a little mini iPad built in, but this isn't really an iPad. It's got a touch sensitive screen, so you can touch or dial in. It has 16 preamps. It has 6 auxiliary outs, plus a left and right. Talkback if you're using this in the studio, phantom power. And you can hook up a hard drive and do a multi-track recording or a stereo mix. So I can get this set up for all my different environments. When I'm here practicing at home, I've got my home solo practicing set up, and I hit save. If I want to work on my solo show, to where all my presets, my mic inputs, outputs, effects, everything is all dialed in, monitors, everything. I can save every one of these presets. I've done 15 records. I'm working on my 16th. And I think 5 of those have been live. And I have this rack that I use that has 16 channels and splitters and everything to be able to go record a live record, and it's a rolling rack. This fits in my laptop bag. With a octave. So, now listen. Hear that hum when I turn this noise suppressor off? I turn it on. I love that. So, that's my rig, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, feel free to ask questions, kellyrichey.com. And thanks so much. Bye-bye.